Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm tired.
You're tired.
This week has been long.
It's been a lot.
Allergies, busy. I'm good. I'm here.
Man, if y'all don't know, this mountain cedar that we have here in Texas, it ain't no joke.
It's blowing in from
It's a real thing.
all over the earth.
It's legit a real thing. Cedar fever does exist.
Cedar fever.
It does. Some housekeeping items.
Oh, that sounds very official.
I mean, it could be, but it doesn't have to be.
That sounds very office. Go ahead.
So bet. Smash the like button.
Ugh.
Yep. We got to do it. See, when you hit that like button, it helps the whole algorithm thing within YouTube, and it shoots our videos higher up, and then it pulls our content up on the homepage and shows it to other folks. And we want you to do that if you're finding value, because if you find value, hopefully other people will find value in it also. So we just want to share the love. Just want to spread it around. There you go. There you go. And from now until or through Valentine's Day, we're gonna be doing some relationship related topics. You know what I mean?
That's good.
So
4 weeks. Well,
yes.
4 episodes.
Yes.
Of relationship things.
Different things specific to relationships. Yeah. And one we're gonna kick off right now.
Yeah.
That has definitely affected us. And we've talked about it before, and we like to call it umbrella parenting.
Oh, Lord, the parents.
Yes. And the best way for me to describe this, it's when you allow parents a little bit too much access into your relationships for whatever reason, whether it be relationship advice or finances or because y'all can't get along or whatever it is, and they give their input a little bit too much, and then
they're not helicoptering, they're umbrella-ing.
Yes.
Ella.
We coined that term. We need to trademark that.
Trademark umbrella parenting.
There you go.
You know, they're not hovering. They don't hover. They're not all up in your business, but you're making them a part of your business.
Yes, you are making them part of your business. So, how has that affected us over the years?
Man, that was hard. Those were one of those I didn't think we were gonna make it moments.
We've had a lot of those.
We had a lot of I didn't know if it was it moments. But I also feel like you cornered me, man. You were like, stay home with the kids, like live life as a stay-at-home mom and go to school and do your nursing thing. And then I was like, man, if I ever leave this, man, I ain't got no job. I ain't got nothing on me. I got a child.
I'm just such an evil ogre that I wanted to provide for my wife and give her the opportunity to pursue her career goals and dreams. And yep, I'm just terrible. You
terrible. But it was a lot of learning the boundaries. We said that before. It was boundaries that had to take place in a lot of, our married life. My mom was already, she had already passed away when we got married, and my dad is in California. And so my parents weren't really there or, and hasn't really been a big part of our marriage. So I relied on a lot of your family.
Yeah, for sure.
I looked at your family as my family, which as I should, but I reached and I wanted that relationship and I wanted that closeness that I thought you had.
Right.
There were that every family, I'm sure, and every in-law, that when you marry into a family, you want a close relationship. You want to have a good, healthy relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Ours was hard.
So
it took a lot.
To give you a little insight, some of the really the things we struggle with was in the financial area, right? So especially like young couples, I don't want to say young couples, but just couples in general, like you have to learn to be a good steward over your finances, how to manage your money, things like that. Because I had gone really to my dad when we got in financial trouble a couple times and things like that. And then even at one point, we got a house together. Because he was overseas and then decided he wanted someplace back here. So we're like, hey, it'll help us out. It'll help you out, blah, blah, blah. Right.
Signed, did all the things.
Right. So, and in doing so, it really opened a door and allowed him to have access into our family, into some say-sos into the relationship that really didn't like and didn't go over so well, right?
No, it was, when you do that, I mean, especially like a house, right? Like, I think we all like, oh, we want to, take care of our parents when they get older, and, we want them to stay with us, or to an extent of staying. And so it was a lot of, when we went into this home, y'all, it was like, it wasn't even just access. It was, that was a time when, it was going into not speaking to your sister.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I'm gonna have them over and I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
And it was real uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was rough.
Or being around, because we didn't know how to interact.
Yeah.
Our nephew's coming over and it's like, there's nothing.
Like we had no say so because it's like his house too.
And he would just pop. He didn't care.
Yeah.
He would just let them pop up or whatever, or invite them. And I invited them, they're coming over, or we'd be there and then the truck's there. And it was real, because it was very fresh.
Yeah.
In our relationship of not speaking and not understanding how to like maneuver around that relationship. There were hurt feelings.
Right.
We were still sitting in hurt. I was sitting in hurt. You were sitting in hurt. We were mad at each other. And then we'd walk into our home where it's supposed to be a place of refuge and we can relax there. And it was like, no, not today.
Yeah.
Not today. And he called the shots on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So when we went to him financially to help us with that, it was like, but I gave you this.
Yep.
And that was oof.
And you feel kind of, I hate to use the word trap, but not trapped, but just, obligated.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, he did do this, so I guess, we have to go along with what he says. We have to, what he says goes and things like that. And it really, man, it took a toll, and to the point where it was like, all right, we're out.
Yeah.
Like we're not doing this no more.
We won't do it anymore.
Yeah. And
I would rather struggle.
Yeah, we left and moved
and not
out.
like we weren't. Or struggling so much, but I would rather break all ties.
Yeah.
With everybody and everything, if that's what it takes to,
Man, sometimes couples you gotta just learn to stand on your own, and as hard and as sucky as it might be, that's some of the times we talk about going through the hard.
Yeah.
And you got to learn to rely on each other. And
had it not been for, our worlds kind of turning upside down with your family, we would have never relied on each other.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Because like I said, they were the people that you went to.
Yeah.
Consistently. I had no one to go to. I didn't have family like that to just run to and be like, this is what's going on or whatever. And we were in San Antonio. I was by myself. I had, my cousin and my aunt there, whatever, but it wasn't something where, listen, Filipinos are very much like, I'm gonna talk behind your back, but I'm also gonna talk in front of you. So,
at least you know what you're getting.
At least you know what you're getting. Your auntie know everything. Your tita knows everything. But it's like, you know that they're talking about you. The word is spreading. Word is spreading. And so a lot of times I was on the out. It was lonely because I didn't have your family like that, or I felt like I did, and part of it I did, but people there, it was just us.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody to just run to and go to. So we relied a lot on your family. And when, we were about to go overseas and we were about to move there and moving in with your mom for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's hard enough to put two families in one household together, to put two separate families live under one roof.
For sure.
I don't know how these people do it. I don't know how a lot of people do it. Remember that show where the dad, he had all these kids and they're like, no, we're going to build this big house and everybody's going to live here. And you remember that show on TLC where the mom and dad, it was their whole family, their kids, their kids' husbands.
Yeah.
And they made all executive issues together as, I don't know how they did it.
It was, they had 4 daughters and all 4 daughters were married, but they all lived under one. They built this big house, lived under one house, and
or they were going
shared
to build
all the finances,
all finances,
that's crazy.
All responsibilities, all children. It's like they were their own little cult, a little village. I wouldn't say cult. Yeah, they were their own little village. Yeah. Listen, I don't know how you blend that many people together. I don't know how you blend two families together. So that's
a
hard.
challenge for sure.
And because he was overseas all the time, we didn't see him a lot. So then when he did come, it was like,
I think for us specifically, that's what made it hard, because it was like while he wasn't here, whatever we said went, whatever rules and decisions, stuff like that. Like it was like we figured out a rhythm and a flow and a pattern and things like that. And then when he would come back, it was like, man, all that just got thrown into chaos.
Yeah.
And that's really, really, that's really challenging. That's really hard to do.
That's
super hard to do.
And once you go the first time, it's hard to be like, I'm not coming to you. I'm not coming to you. But that also, and it also creates this is how Mark is always going to be. He's always going to keep coming to me.
Yeah.
He's always going to keep asking me for something. And in their eyes, they're never going to see you any different.
For sure. And so I can definitely take responsibility for that on my part, that I began to create a pattern. When I got in trouble, I still ran back.
And a lot of times I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, our stuff is getting paid. Things are happening. Things are moving. And we're tight here and there, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And, I had no idea.
Yeah. I didn't share most of that stuff with you.
Don't do that. Y'all don't do that. Don't not share.
Man, I'm telling you, we're
issues.
We're being transparent. And so you can avoid some of the things that we ran into, because then when we legit ran into financial issues, when I got let go from my job and I went without a job for 3 months, then we sat down with some financial counselors and everything came out.
Oh, man.
And you were blindsided by a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that was tough in and of itself.
Right.
That was,
That was hard.
Yeah, that was real hard.
That was hard.
And finances are a big issue. That's one of the number one issues why, couples get divorced and different stuff like that. And it's not a fun topic. Like, it's not a fun topic for me even today.
Yeah.
But it's a necessary topic, and we talk about it, and we have to, hey, where are we at? Where are we at with this? Okay, where's the budget look like? And if you have those conversations on a regular basis, then it doesn't make it as difficult. When big stuff does come up.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely take responsibility on my part for continuing to run back, because I was like, well, I know if I get in trouble, I can go back to my dad. I can go back to my dad, and
you'll take the talks and
and that's where I'm sure a lot of folks run into trouble, because it's like, if we really need it, we know we can always run back. We know we can always run back, and that's not a good place to be.
Healthy.
Yeah.
It's and I get it. Things are just hard. The economy that we're in right now, and we're all just trying to get by and just trying to live.
Yeah.
It's hard, and it's hard to say you need help.
Yeah.
That's a pride. That's very pride. It's really prideful on our part, because we want to show that we can stand on our own 2 feet. And so, especially when you leave and you're like, I'm grown.
Yeah.
I can leave. I'm going to have a whole family. I got kids. I have a whole husband. By the way, can I borrow some money? Because I can't take care of my kids and my husband.
Man, for real. And we're not saying like, God, everybody needs help sometimes.
Yeah.
And we're not saying like you can't ever go to your parents or anything like that. That's not.
Oh my gosh,
that's
absolutely not.
Like, please hear what we're saying and don't hear what we're not saying.
Yeah.
But it's when it becomes a pattern, and if that help comes with strings attached to it,
right,
that's where you have to be very mindful of. I mean, apart from, hey, I'm paying you back by this said
you gotta
time and
create
date.
Boundaries very early on to say, here's some clear boundaries. Here's the expectations here, and with your spouse saying, look, I understand we're in a hard place, and being on board, because that's hard, because I didn't know you went back, and it was like, had we had just spoken about it,
for sure,
we would have figured some things out. I could have tried to manage the budget and move things around and tighten up here and tighten up there. But we were trying to live this same life, and not knowing things are just going downhill, and we can't afford the life that we lived. And it's not like we lived so extravagantly, but we could have tightened up.
Yeah.
And we could have stood on our own 2 feet. Yeah. And maybe here and there, hey, let's go eat your mama's house. Let's have Sunday dinner. Let's make this a tradition. Sunday dinner. Because we can't. We don't have that.
Well, mom wasn't up here at the time.
She wasn't.
She was down south in Austin, and so it wasn't.
Yeah.
That was
a lot.
It was a lot.
It was hard. It was hard. So I guess this kind of goes into finances and instead of just umbrella parenting, but it creates they have room to hold it over your head.
Yeah. Like
to talk about it, to, hey, remember when you effed up here. And by the way, and not like your parents cussed at you, but this is where you messed up.
Yeah.
And remember when you needed me.
Yeah.
And man, that creates all types of problems.
It does. It really
all
does.
types of problems. And like, you will never, it took us years. And even like, we just found out, right? Like that we were held under this light of this is, because Mark did this, this is how you were represented to the family. And you had no idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we thought you just managed your money wrong and you didn't care and you were this and you were that. And it was like, they create, their own hurts by saying yes and wanting to help their children because it's their kids and they want to get them out of trouble. And, they're always going to be there. And it's like, but at that same time, it's you treat them a certain way, they're hurt. Yeah. Their emotions start to, well, Mark didn't do this. Well, Abby, Abby is da-da-da-da. Yeah. Why isn't she taking care of it? And it's like, we didn't know. Yeah. We had no idea that we were seen a certain way. We were still being seen as the couple that didn't think through getting married. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, that's, we were young. There was a lot of things we were trying to figure out, blending two people into one and having a special needs kid and having another baby and, and moving and it's a lot. And you need a good support system. You need a good help, but it's also hey, I went to mom, I went to dad.
And that's the thing, right? Because there's lots of change has taken place since then. And I'll tell you what, if people are still going to look at you who you were, then those people may not be your people, right? Like you can't, I'm not who I used to be. Yeah. And if you want to remember that person, that's fine. You can stay there, but I'm not there anymore.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. So, that doesn't mean that I still don't make some mistakes. That doesn't mean that, we still don't fall, we still don't mess up sometimes or whatever, but I am definitely not the person I was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. Right. Lots has changed. Lots has taken place. Growth has happened. Maturity has happened. And I see things differently now. We're just not those people. Right. So if you still want to see us as those people, that's on you. Right. That's not that's your problem. That's not our problem. Right. And if you don't want to take the time to get to know who we are now, again, that's not my fault. Yeah. It is what it is.
And that's hard because your parents are your parents, right? They'll always see you as their baby. They'll always see you as this kid. They'll always see you as, these are the same mistakes you used to make when you were in your teens and your early 20s and you're just out of college, as if you were still in diapers.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like you got married young. Yep. Your wife is young. You had babies young. It's like it's hard for them to see you any different from who you were. Yeah. And the same patterns, asking for money maybe when you were younger. I don't know. Always having to have something, always having to come back to them. Mm-hmm. Right. And so it's hard for even just your parents to be like, okay, sure, you've changed. Because if you changed, you wouldn't have came back. Mm-hmm. And so that creates a lot of hurts between the two of you guys and a lot of, you'll never change. You'll never change. And like we talked about, I would hope somebody would tell me, man, this is a pattern you're doing. This is what you've been doing. I wish my mom would have been like, you always do this. You always come to me and I'm going to say no. Yeah. I'm going to, instead of just being like, fine, blah, blah, blah. And then throw my, what I've done in the past, throw my failures in my face. Yeah. And then say, here's some money. Yep. Your Band-Aid, you put a Band-Aid on me. Yeah. That's all you did. Yeah. So all I know is to, okay, take it, take the hits, listen to you, nag at me, and wait for you to write me a check. Yeah. Yeah. It really is. I mean, it's almost like a bad cycle, right? Because parents can do something on one end and then you respond on the other end, and vice versa. You do something on one side and then they respond on the other side, and it's just like this crazy cycle that you just continue to go through, and both y'all are doing the same thing. Both y'all mad and frustrated, upset, and things aren't changing, whatever, whatnot. So yeah, it's not a good place to be. It's not. It's definitely not a good place to be. Marriage really hard.
It really can.
Really hard. And from the other side, it's like they will always look at your spouse a certain way. Yeah. You either didn't man up as a husband, or this is all your fault. Yeah. You're making him ask me, or this was your idea.
Yeah. It just gives my idea, way for too many thoughts to come in.
Too many thoughts, and a lot of conversations to be had with throughout the family
Yeah.
that you don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but it's good to have a safe space with your parents or your parents. But I think once you leave your mother and father and you cleave to your spouse, it becomes very different because you should no longer rely on them like that.
Yeah.
Finances, whatever. Yeah, help here and there. That's understandable. We get that. But that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's a super challenge.
It is. It's a lonely place to be.
Yeah, it's rough. It's real rough. So I'd encourage couples and things like that. If you have parents who are maybe a little bit too involved, have a little too much say so in your relationship, and just things you do, decision making, whatever, whatnot. Like, just reevaluate that. What that looks like, to push back a little bit, to maybe shut some of that down, to say, hey, no, you can't, like, it can't be like this anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's a rough conversation to have, when you've allowed somebody access and now you're taking some of that access away. There can be, more than likely, there's going to be hurt feelings.
Of course.
There's definitely going to be hurt feelings, but it's not personal.
They had you before you even the other person.
Yeah.
So to leave your mama.
Yeah.
Or your dad, and it's like, I've known him better than he knows himself. I changed his boy's diapers.
I used to change your diapers. I saw you naked.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Your mom still, and it's so cute, and I love your mom. She'll call me if you're sick, and she'll still teach me how to take care of you. She'll be like, don't forget.
Yeah.
Don't forget to tell Mark to take his medicine.
Parents are always going to be parents. Mom's going to be mom. Dad's going to be dad. Whatever.
You make him take a shower in the steam and make sure it hits his throat, and then you put some essential oil on him. Make sure he's taking, and don't let him take too much over the counter medicine. It's not good for him. But I know you know what you're doing. So I'm gonna leave you alone. I love her. But it's cute. It's cute. My mom didn't do that.
Yeah.
She didn't do that.
Man, I still often think, like, so curious of what things would be like if your mom was still around today.
Oh man, I don't know. Life would be something
I tell you what, I bet you it'd be more like, so what most of y'all don't know, when we go down to spend time with Abby's aunt and uncle, which is like adopted mom and dad, basically. I love going down there.
Of course you do. You're spoiled.
Yeah.
You're spoiled rotten.
It's great. It's fantastic.
You're spoiled. The kids are spoiled.
Because
there's a routine. There's a routine that happens when we step into those.
Her aunt be putting Abby in her place.
Whatever.
And telling her, like, you need to be a better wife. You need to be a better wife to your husband. Get him what he needs.
As if I'm an awful wife. Oh my gosh. Like, I let this man just go hungry. I don't look. Okay. For example.
Yes. For example. Give them the example.
I'm running around trying to grab these kids. They're trying to help Lola in the kitchen. They're trying to do so. I'm trying to get my own cup of coffee. Look, Mark Duncan can sit. Yeah. Mark Duncan can sit at the table, which is an arm distance of the coffee maker. He walks past the coffee maker
not really.
On the way to the breakfast table. And what happens? Go get him some coffee. Abby, go get him some coffee. He can get himself. He's right there.
I'm busy working.
You are not working.
Yes, I was.
Oh my gosh.
I was. Last time I was editing the show.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Be a good wife. Go get me some coffee.
Forget it. Forget it. I'll get it. Y'all, when I tell you this man, we was eating on paper plates and plastic forks. She comes out with the silverware for him.
Jealous.
He comes out with the plate.
Oh, she's jealous.
Pancakes that the kids want because they have to have their blueberry pancakes.
I'm a growing boy.
Oh my gosh, you're growing the wrong way.
No,
that's
false.
It's not okay.
I'm fly and sexy.
I'm gonna listen. I'll let Mark know that he needs to go get his plate. I'll let him know that you want some coffee. Okay.
And then if she doesn't do it, I'm just like, Abby won't get me any coffee.
Tattletale. What a narc. What a narc. Then I get a whole earful on how I'm being awful. Like, okay, I'm going to sit right here on this couch.
You mad, bro? You mad?
I'm going to sit right here on this couch.
You mad, bro?
Listen, Harlan and Auntie Lee can go get you your coffee. I don't care. All y'all spoiled. I'm spoiled by association, as in if I could sit long enough and not be seen, the kids get taken care of. They find mom and dad, and they go over there and hang out with them.
Yeah.
I plop in one spot.
So all that being said, parents are great too. Parents are great.
You know.
However, we just have to keep some things in check and keep some things in balance, right? Mm-hmm. How you gonna say, but you're shaking your head?
Because in my head I'm thinking, you no good. You ain't no good.
You still back there? We just talked about that. I'm not there anymore. I've grown past that. We're here now.
Have you though? Because when you go there, you like me. You don't.
We're here now. I need you to be here now in the moment with me.
Present.
Yes, be present. Enjoy. Take this in.
Take what in?
This sexiness that you get to stare at.
What was this show about again?
See, I'm that distracting. You forgot your thoughts.
Oh, did we hit 30 minutes?
You should be so thankful.
Thank you for tuning in to the Chicken and Waffle Show. I am Abby. We will see you next Friday.
Y'all, this is what happens when we have a little bit too much fun. No, it's all good. Seriously though, it's an important topic. So I would encourage you, definitely, if any of that kind of resonates with you, you need to have that conversation with spouse.
Set boundaries.
Spouse with your
go
parents.
Back to boundaries. Set boundaries with parents.
You know what? There's a lot of things. A lot of these topics all go back to root issues, and that's the thing overall, right? Like a lot of the things that we talk about are just like kind of symptoms, but you at some point in time you have to get to the root of the problem and deal with the root of it. And
that's true.
And it all goes back to a lot of similar things, especially when you're talking about couples and relationships.
Parents are great.
Yep.
Parents are great to help. Parents are there for you when you need them. That is our job as a parent, to always have our kids back.
Yep.
For sure. Set boundaries though. And if you do plan on, like, finances are a very big thing. If you do plan on asking for money or you need help, which is totally understandable, make sure that you two are in agreement as to why you're doing it and when you're coming out of it. And is this the only time? And if you plan on going back, it definitely is a conversation to be had again to say, hey, no, you said we weren't going to do this. If you have to go back again, you really need to reevaluate what you're doing. Yeah. Because something was missed the first time that you did again the second time, and you're repeating patterns, and now your patterns are going back to your parents. Yeah. Which you should have left your parents alone. Man, they old. They need their own money too. You know, they old. What they gonna live on?
And you know what? There's also some rules for kids too. Kids, it doesn't matter how old your parents get. Like, it's still your job to honor. It is still your job to honor your parents, no matter what. That's important. We talk about that. We preach that around here. Yeah. So with that, we're coming to an end.
We're done.
Yeah, my screen, my display just.
Your display.
My display just says it's time to go. It's time to go to bed. Oh, good night. We're done with this. Oh man, don't you love, man? These technical issues, they're fun. It just said, yeah, we're going to bed now. We're done.
Live from the office studio.
There you go. Sometimes things happen. So definitely, again, like, subscribe, follow. Man, we keep watching the analytics and the numbers and stuff like that and seeing things go up, and it's been really cool. It's been so encouraging to see, and we love seeing people repost on Instagram some of the shorts that we're doing. We hope y'all enjoying those. Yeah. But continue to email us, reach out, ideas, topics, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll be here next week.
We'll see you soon.
Yes, we'll see you soon. You'll see us soon. But
see you on Instagram. Bye guys.
With that, good night.